Welcome to Martial Arts Today, a program dedicated to the ancient fighting arts of the Orient, designed to give you insights into the history, philosophy, styles, and celebrities of the martial arts. And now, your host, Joe Ribello.
Hi, this is Joe Ribello for Martial Arts Today, and we're here at the Grand Ballroom at the Holiday Inn in downtown Providence, getting ready for a seminar featuring Chris Cassamassa. Chris, a national forms and weapons champion, is going to be demonstrating a seminar on championship kata, championship form. Mr. Cassamassa, who's also involved with Red Dragon Karate, will also be one of the stars of the new upcoming film Mortal Kombat, where he's portraying the character Scorpion. So we're looking forward to a great interview as well as a great seminar with Chris Cassamassa here at the evenings of the Ocean State Grand National Karate Championships. We'll be back with more action. Hi, this is Joe Ribello back at the Holiday Inn in downtown Providence, where we're here with a very special guest, Mr. Pat Johnson, a fight choreographer for such films as the Karate Kid series, also the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series, and now the fight choreographer for the brand new film Mortal Kombat. Again, Mr. Johnson, it's a pleasure meeting you once again.
Thank you, Joe. It's good to be here again.
Sir, again, so many people have asked since our last episode, when they found out that you were going to be the featured choreographer for the new film Mortal Kombat, many people would come up to me and ask me, well, when are we going to find out more about the film? When are we going to find out more about Mortal Kombat? And now as, again, part two of our adventure, tell us a little bit about what it was like to be the fight choreographer and the incredible effort that went into making Mortal Kombat.
First of all, normally when I do a martial arts film, I'm given a bunch of actors because Hollywood thinks in terms of acting ability first, martial arts ability second. And I will train those people, teach them just the things they need to know to put on the screen because I have a short time to work with them usually. And, you know, the films come out pretty good. Certainly in the first Karate Kid film, we had 8 principals in the film, and only one of them knew martial arts before we started, and the film grossed $100 million, which was, at the time, the top-grossing martial arts film of all time. Anyway, the difference with Mortal Kombat is I was given a bunch of great martial artists. I was allowed to select, and the results, I feel, the top 4 grossing martial arts films of all time are films that I've done. I feel that Mortal Kombat is going to outgross all of them. I think it will probably make $150 million or more. And it's, again, primarily talents like Chris Cassamassa, Hakeem Alston, people of that caliber, Ernest Hart, Danny Lopez, some really top martial artists, Richie Brandon.
Now, that also reminds me that several of the actors also, for instance, Shang Tsung, which is portrayed by Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa, he's had some martial arts training. Christopher Lambert, who plays Raiden, has also had some experience through, again, films like Highlander and The Hunted. But again, as you mentioned, it is really a martial artist's dream film. Again, some of the various principles that you were involved in, how did you put the choreography together with such diversified martial artists?
That was a pleasure. It was really easy. The bigger variety of talent I have, the more I can expand in my work and choreography. It's like giving me carte blanche when I have all of this talent. But I try to make each fight scene different and unique. There's a fight scene in which Liu Kang has to fight Sub-Zero. That particular film I made very gymnastic. I have in fact, I had to get a stunt double I shouldn't say that in public, but I got a stunt double for the martial artist, and we did a lot of flipping, had a guy run up a wall and do a backflip off a wall, all of that type of stuff. And there was one fight scene in which Liu Kang, who was played by Robin Shou, a very talented actor and martial artist, he had to fight Princess Katana, who was a very lovely lady. In fact, she appeared in the last Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. A very attractive girl. And there was supposed to be a little magic between them, a little good stuff going on. So they had to fight in the tournament. So I had to make that fight very sexy and very sensuous, which I was able to do, again, because of the talent of the people that I had to work with. But it's really terrific. It was rather unique for me.
Well, that's what I find that intrigues me most of all about the way that you set up your choreography. That it works on multiple levels. That it's not just the classic punch, kick, okay, take the guy down type of choreography. That it works on a mental and psychological level as well. Now, again, you know, we've talked about some of the people involved. What are some of the other features that you really felt that when you looked at a particular fight scene and you said, that's it, that's what I really wanted to put forth? Again, everyone's talked about the fight scene with Liu Kang and Sub-Zero. Everyone talks about the running up the circular arch, and again, that's only a preview. How do you choreograph something? Again, everyone's talking about Goro. This new mechanization to the saying, again, over $1 million. How do you put choreography to something like that?
That was probably the most difficult fight scene of the whole thing. He had to fight a guy named Art Lean and then later Johnny Cage. The gentleman who was in the Goro suit, a guy named Tom Woodruff, actually owns the company called ADI, Amalgamated Dynamics Incorporated. They did all of the animatronics for Wolf, for the Santa Claus, a number of that type of thing. This suit was very unique in that the shoulders that Tom's regular arms, I mean, he's 6'2". That was Goro's lower arms. Everything from that point on was on his shoulders. There was no way for him to see. He actually had, it was almost like virtual reality. He had a little screen about this big that was in front of his eye inside the chest. And then when there was a camera, a remote camera outside that was shooting the picture, so he was seeing himself from the outside.
So everything he was doing was right from a third-person perspective.
Absolutely. And then there was no way for him to breathe because there was no oxygen supply to this thing. So every fight scene we would do, I timed him, he could do 55 seconds. After 55 seconds, we had to cut and get him oxygen or else he would have died. So I had that limitation. So what we did was very, very carefully. We would, first of all, I trained Tom for about 2 months prior to getting into the suit. Then we would do the choreography. First of all, I would teach him the choreography with his eyes open. And then I would close his eyes. And he had to do all the choreography with his eyes closed, almost by feel. And it was very important for the actor he was working with to find him and make sure he was at the spot when a swing came, that he was going to be there at that spot. So the coordination between the opponent and Goro was very important. It took a great deal of time, but we made it work.
That's incredible. I mean, I thought when we had talked about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles suits and, you know, how they could only be in there 20 minutes, but only 55 seconds.
55 seconds and then a cut.
How long did it take to shoot a fight scene with something like that?
It took us, Garth, what did we do, about 5 days, I think, on that one fight scene in the throne room? Yeah, about 5 days just to do one fight scene that lasted, I think, 1 minute and 20 seconds on the screen. It took us 5 days. Incredible.
Now, again, we've mentioned that there are also other actors, as you mentioned before, who have not been in the martial arts before. Brigitte Wilson comes to mind. For those of you who are not familiar with Brigitte Wilson, just simply watch The Last Action Hero. I believe she plays Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter, Jack Slater's character's daughter. Yes. Now, did it take longer with the actors that had no martial arts experience, or did you find that they were able to adapt fairly quickly due to other experience?
What I tried to do, Joe, was to actually structure the choreography to fit, number one, the personality of the character and the physical ability of the actor portraying the part. I had 2 girls that I had to work with, and one of my assistants, my son Garth is my assistant, and I have another assistant that's a lady named Barbara Goldstone. And Barbara has been training for about 20 years. Whenever a woman performs martial arts, I think a woman has something very unique in her application. And it's an intangible almost. There are a lot of fights I see with women fighting on screen, and they try to fight like a guy, and they stand toe-to-toe with guys and do guy techniques, and it doesn't work for me. It's totally unbelievable. No one's ever going to buy it. But when a girl fights, when a lady fights, I mean, Christine and I have sparred, you know, there's something very unique and special about that. I did not want the ladies of the cast who were inexperienced in martial arts to lose that something special. And if I train them for such a short period of time, what they will try to do is emulate me, and that won't get it. So I have Barbara, a lady black belt, train them, and they never lose that special quality. And then I structure the fight so that they use technique like a lady will be more elusive. You're not going to stand there toe-to-toe with a guy. And I have, like in the case of Sonya Blade, when Bridget's role, I had them add some dialogue, and I had her actually use the dialogue to get the guy upset. So he would do something stupid to create a better opening for her, which a lady should do in a real situation. She should use words. It's something she has a gift for. Either, oh, don't beat me up, I'm so helpless, or you big lug, what are you picking on a little girl like me for? Bam! You know, and then letting it go. So we added the dialogue, but we made it as realistic so you would believe that this girl could really do it.
That's incredible. Now, you know, we've spoken so much about the different aspects of Mortal Kombat. Again, you mentioned about the martial artist, and I was very fortunate. We were very fortunate that we have several people from the New England area, again, which this show is based out of. Again, Louis Hopkins, I've been told, is involved in the project. Richie Brandon, of course, and of course, now another project you're involved, which involves, of course, Christine Banner Rodriguez. Okay. Quest for the Dragon Star. Now, you've just completed the filming of that as well, correct?
That is correct, Joe. Uh-huh.
Okay, and now tell me again, as opposed from a major motion picture to a television series and having to do multiple episodes, what's the difference in choreographing the different routines?
The TV show, we had to do 13 episodes. In each episode, there are 3 battles, 3 fights, plus somewhat we call vignettes in which there might be another fight. Trying to make those all different. Now, originally, the premise is that we would use all of the different styles of martial arts. Kempo, karate, taekwondo, wushu, judo, aikido, everything. However, when doing a show, you want to make it exciting, and there are certain techniques that are extremely exciting, what we call visual or cinematic. There are some techniques that are just blah. They may be effective and terrific. For example, if you take the Gracie-style jiu-jitsu, you get 2 guys laying on the ground, rolling around, trying to grapple each other. It may be very effective in a one-on-one street fight, but it doesn't work for film. So, and it wouldn't work on a stage show either. And it would not work particularly in television because you're looking at such a small screen. The techniques that have to be used are very big, sweeping techniques, very broad, very leaping, a lot of aerials. Well, it's hard to show the different styles of martial arts and make it exciting and interesting. So all of the guys do the same types of techniques. So the trick then is to get them to apply those same techniques in a different way, off of different stances, off of different techniques, and utilizing the sets that have been built so that even though we see a tornado kick, we may see it 100 times during the course of the show, but every time it looks different because it's applied a little bit differently in a different setting by a different person, maybe jumping off a table, jumping off a case, swinging around a pole, some way to make it different. It was difficult, but I think it's going to be terrific. Again, it's going to be terrific because of the martial artists involved.
That's fantastic. Again, this has been a great interview. Now, before we go, though, Mortal Kombat's coming out on
August 18th.
Okay, and Quest for the Dragon Star is going to be out on Fox Network on
September 16th.
So,
and then one other thing I should mention is I am also involved now, Garth and I and Barbara are involved in doing the Mortal Kombat Road Tour, which we are putting together, which will open at Radio City Music Hall on the East Coast on September 14th. The West Coast will open a week later at the Forum, and we'll do a 184-city tour around the country. Again, some of these very same martial artists, Hakeem, Chris, Christine, will be in the road show, and it's going to be terrific.
Oh, we've definitely got to talk to you about that in the future. And before we go, Garth, come here. We've got to introduce you to another member of the Johnson family. Come on in here. This is Garth. Now tell me, Garth, we were talking earlier about one of the fight scenes, and I want you to look for this. Now, this isn't a pilot. Okay, now you had a rather spectacular stunt that your father had choreographed. Want to explain that a little bit to the audience?
Well, I was fighting Chris Cassamassa, which was the Red Dragon. And we were up on top of a little waterfall scene, and he throws a round kick at me, I believe, and I jump off, and I do a spectacular splash into the water.
Well, that's going to be one of the highlights of Quest for the Dragon Star, so watch for it. And with Pat and Garth Johnson, this is Joe Ribello. Stay tuned for more Martial Arts Today.
Do you vow to live your life by the code of the Dragon Star?
I do.
Will you dedicate yourself to purity of both body And so, I will. Do you accept the challenge and the responsibilities of the Dragon Belt?
I accept.
Prepare for the competition.
Behold the world's greatest martial artists. They come from completely different cultures, different disciplines, united together before the World Martial Arts Council. They share an unrelenting passion for its ultimate reward.
Olympus. The Machine. Superstar. Red Dragon. Great Wolf. Tiger Claw. Panther. Tsunami.
Only those martial artists that embody the very essence of their chosen discipline are invited to join the World Martial Arts Council. Their extraordinary competitions take place in the world's most challenging settings. Journey with the athletes as they share amazing stories from their secret pasts. Discover the incredible adventures that ultimately set them on course to vie for the martial arts' most coveted prize. The World Martial Arts Council, 4Kids Productions, and Leisure Concepts are proud to present the most talked about new television series of the decade. In a world with too few heroes, WMAC Masters are just in time.
Are you worthy of the Dragon Star?
It's what I've trained for my entire life.
WMAC Masters. The martial arts get real.
Hi, and we're back here at Martial Arts Today with more martial arts action here at the Holiday Inn in Providence. And we're here with a very special guest, Mr. Chris Cassamassa. Mr. Cassamassa has just demonstrated one of the, in my opinion, one of the premier kids seminars, but not just a kids seminar, but on championship kata and championship attitude. First of all, Chris, it's a pleasure meeting you.
It's nice meeting you. Thanks.
Now, Chris, first of all, let's start at the beginning. How did you begin in the martial arts?
My dad actually got me into martial arts because he started when he was in the military, stationed over in Japan and Okinawa. And when I was 4 years old, I started training. So I don't really remember wearing a diaper, just kind of a karate uniform.
Now, your father created a very innovative system, a Red Dragon Karate. Can you explain to the audience a little bit what Red Dragon Karate is?
Yeah, Red Dragon Karate is a combination of the 7 major styles of martial arts. And we've done, what my dad's done is taken what he feels is the best moves and techniques from each style that he has learned and put them together. And so basically it's American karate because it combines all the Oriental arts.
Now, how long have you been involved? Now, if you don't mind my asking again, for once I can ask someone's age and not be worried about it. How old are you and how long have you been involved in the martial arts?
Well, I just turned 30, so I'm 30. But I've been involved since I was 4 years old, so 26 years now.
Oh, that's incredible. Now, what made you first get involved in tournament karate?
It was a goal of mine. It was something I wanted to do. I had competed off and on as a kid, but when I became an adult division, 18 years old, I just set a goal for myself that I wanted to be a nationally rated competitor, and just went on to try and do that.
Now, you've had quite a career as a tournament competitor. What are your credentials as far as championships in the past through different organizations?
Well, I'm a 4-time Open Forums champion, #1 with NASCA from '89 to '93. I was undefeated in kata, so I got that going for me. And then I was a national weapons champion in '92, and I was ranked the #5 light middleweight fighter.
So again, you're a triple crown player. In other words, you've done fighting forms and weapons. Now, again, after your tournament career, you started getting involved in feature films and different roles. How did that all start up?
Well, it's the same thing. It's just because of the way I was brought up is very goal-oriented, you know, set a goal and then go for it. And so once I achieved my goals in the martial arts competition world, I set my sights on the next step, which for me was to try and get into films and acting. And so I signed up for acting classes, and it's a whole other art form. I mean, acting's tough, and it's really hard to do. So I started taking classes and going to auditions and doing the regular, the standard Hollywood routine. And I was lucky enough to land my first role, which was in a film called Shoot Fighter. And I was in that with a good friend of mine, Mike Bernardo. And we had a lot of fun doing that. And you learn a lot of things when you're on a film like that. But Pat Johnson, who choreographed that, along with most of the major martial arts movies in Hollywood, was real inspirational to us. And he really helped us out a lot, showing us, a lot of film technique.
Now, since your role in Shoot Fighter, again, your latest major role is again as Scorpion in the new film Mortal Kombat. Could you tell us a little bit about that role?
Yeah, Scorpion is it's a total different change-up for me because I play a real evil bad character, and I'm usually a nice guy, but it's a good role, and it's a major role of the film. And I had originally gone into audition for a smaller part, and I was just at the right place at the right time. The producer and the director were there the day of my audition. They liked what I saw, asked me to come back a couple times, and I didn't know why, because it was just for a small little bit part. And then finally they told me that the role of Scorpion was open. So I just kind of gave it my all, and they decided to go with me.
Now, how long were you shooting on the film?
Well, I was originally scheduled to shoot for about 2 weeks, but I ended up being on the film for about 2.5 months. So for about 10 weeks, we were working on the film. And just because they kept adding more stuff for me, which was really neat, because originally I had the character written as a smaller role. But I guess they liked what they saw, and they liked what I was doing, so they kept putting more stuff in and adding more fights. So it was really a lot of fun.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, again, after Mortal Kombat, or I should say before, depending how we're dealing as far as your television career, you're one of the main characters, one of the major characters involved with the brand new series, WMAC Masters Quest for the Dragon Star. Now, how did that come about?
Well, once again, I owe a lot of that to Pat Johnson, because he was choreographing on that, called us in, and they had scouted a lot of the karate tournaments. When the last year that I competed, which was '93, they had scouts from this television company going out and filming, the top martial artists, and they were, looking at myself and Mike Bernardo, Hakeem Alston. And so when the show finally came about, they called us. They brought in Pat, who called us again. So it was really a nice opportunity to have, and now we're shooting a weekly television show.
Now, it's very intriguing that your particular character is really a salute not only to your father, but to your style in which you portray the Red Dragon. How's that feel?
Well, that feels great. It's a good plug for the schools, so my dad will be happy. But, they asked what kind of nickname we wanted to have, and my nickname was Mr. Red Dragon, because I've really... I've been doing that all my life, and I'm really happy with that style. I've studied other styles of martial arts, and I just really like it, and so it was a natural choice for me.
Excellent. So, again, in the future, we're looking forward to seeing Red Dragon action figures and the entire line of Red Dragon merchandise through Quest of Dragon Star. What's it going to feel like having your own action figure?
Well, it's definitely strange looking at it, because I've seen the prototype for the doll, and it looks just like me, but it's just 8 inches tall, and so it's just a little guy like that there. But it's definitely strange, but at the same time, it's a really nice feeling to know that... I mean, it's going to push us up a lot of big celebrity status, so it feels good.
I was going to say, I mean, this is really the first, besides, of course, films like or a series like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, etc. But this is really the first series that's really being depicted by American martial artists, and it's got a major backer behind it, and again, a complete line of merchandising. So you're really bringing the martial arts into the 21st century. What's it like being in that type of role?
Well, it's really nice in the fact that we get to show the positive side of martial arts. Especially with the Power Rangers taking a lot of flack over the violence and things. Although we compete against each other in this television show, there's always a moral and a reason behind what we do, and we only use it to compete. We don't use it to go out and beat people up or fight. So we try and show the positive side of the martial arts, because a lot of the martial arts films give it a bad rap sometimes because it just depicts all the violence, and there's never a moral that goes along with it. And martial arts is an art form, and there's a lot of philosophy that is with the martial arts.
That's fantastic. Well, I always ask different questions of my guests, and always try to find a unique question. Again, your father has created Red Dragon Karate. How do you feel being basically the inheritor of the Cassamassa and Red Dragon Karate legacy?
Probably the same way that Dr. Jigoro Kano's kid felt, since he was the founder of judo, and his son Risei Kano, who inherited that. So it's a nice feeling, and I want to help my dad make our organization, our system grow and prosper into the next century. So it's a good feeling. It's a little like, feel like royalty almost sometimes. So it's nice.
Well, there you have it. And again, we'll be back with more martial arts action here on Martial Arts Today. Thank you very much, sir. Back.
Now, I'm going to show you guys one more kick before we wrap out today. You get to pick it. It's democratic. You actually get to vote on what move you want to learn. Do you want to do a tornado kick or a jump spinning split kick? What do they look like? I'll tell you what. I'll show them both to you, then you can pick. All right, here we go. Tornado kick. Yeah!
What was that one?
That was the tornado kick. Okay, here we go. Tornado kick. Ready? Okay. Jump spinning split kick. Yeah! No? Okay, jump spinning split kick. Which one do you want to do? Oh, you think that one's easier, don't you? You know what? In the game, Scorpion has a spear that sticks people. In the movie, wait till you see what I have. It comes out of my hand. And it's not a spear, it's a creature. It's alive, like a creature. It's about this long. It's got like stuff dripping all out of its mouth and big sharp razor alligator teeth. It's got these evil, wicked looking eyes. And my hand actually opens up. And this thing comes out of my hand and chases people and bites them, pulls them in, so I can say, get over here, crack, and give them the uppercut. It is wicked looking.
T-O-R-O.
I can't even jump and check my hand. I can't even touch that one. Tori, you're going back up. Tori. No, the
R-E-B.
Come on, that's